What is up, guys, and welcome to a new video by Rider Infusion, here to hopefully infuse you guys with some good content yet another day. Starting this video off in the good old city of Bradenton, not Bradenton, as a lot of foreigners would say of this city when they first see the spelling of it, but it's Bradenton, FYI, for those of you that don't know. Anyways, this whole town, this whole city, this area is a completely different ball game when it comes down to how you ride your motorcycle. The people here, in terms of just car drivers, the people here are generally more aggressive, is what I've noticed, is what I feel. People are more aggressive. People make lane changes more often without using their turn signal. They're more sporadic, so to speak. And motorcycles, you know, you'll see a lot of them splitting lanes here. It's like not unusual to see that. Like if you just drive through Bradenton and it's a nice sunny day, and if you see a motorcycle, you're probably going to see it split lanes. Just kind of the culture here, I would say. So, you know, depending on where you live in the state of Florida, it's going to vary city to city in terms of how your riding is going to be as a motorcyclist. Some places, they're just more relaxed, more chill. You know, you can kind of kick back and relax while you ride. Some places, you got to really just be on your toes. I hate having another vehicle be in a certain position next to me where I'm in their blind spot. You want to avoid that at all costs, whether that's to accelerate, whether that's to slow down, whether that's to change lanes. Do what you have to do to get yourself out of that position, because the more positions that you put yourself into where you're in people's blind spots, you're crossing through, you know, sketchy intersections where there's people waiting to pull out or cross your lane of traffic, the more situations that you put yourself into that are like that, the higher your odds for an accident to happen. So we'll always want to try to limit that. Always try to be riding a little faster than the flow of traffic. I am not for, and I think it's less safe when you're riding slower than the flow of traffic. I think if you're riding faster than the flow of traffic by a bit, I think it's safer as a motorcyclist. I feel like the days of when I really just relax and I'm just like, I have these moments where I'm just like, you know what, just totally chilled out on the road. I feel like there's more situations that come up where people just don't notice me, people don't see me, they'll change lanes on me or whatever else. But when I'm kind of progressing faster with the flow of traffic, I feel like there's less instances where there are hazards, so to speak, while I ride. So that's what I'm for, that's what I would advocate for, and that's what I would suggest for you to do as well. Unless, you know, you're really new to motorcycling and you just don't feel comfortable in doing that, you know, don't do that. You got to do what you feel is comfortable for you. But if you're a new motorcyclist, really what you should be doing is just avoiding areas like this altogether. You know, avoid riding during times of the day when there are more cars on the road. Go out, you know, maybe maybe really early in the morning, maybe later in the day, you know, but not when people are going to work and when people are coming back from work. Avoid those times and avoid areas that are just busy. I think that's a really good just overall suggestion for any new rider out there, is just to try and ride during times or areas, try to ride in areas where, man, that cop was sneaky. He was sneaky just sitting behind those bushes. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, just, you know, just avoid busy areas, avoid riding in busy times. As usual, as I'm riding, I'm always paying attention to my mirrors. If we play back, say this clip right here, like you'll notice how many times my head sort of goes down and just glances at the mirror where I'm looking at the mirror. I'm seeing how close people are behind me. I'm seeing what traffic's doing behind me. Looking at your mirrors, I think is one of the most important aspects of safety when it comes down to motorcycling. I don't think there will ever be a day of where I'll say that, yeah, take off your mirrors, you know, because your bike looks cooler without mirrors. Take them off and ride that way without them. Just turn your head when you want to check on traffic. No, I'm not for that. I don't think there will ever be a day where I will say that. I am 100% for motorcyclists having mirrors and for them using them. Like right now, I'm constantly, you know, checking on my mirrors. It's just what I do. It's just how I'm used to riding. Now, when I do glance at them, it doesn't mean that that I don't see what's going on up ahead of me. I still see what's happening up ahead. And so it's not like I'm just distracted and I just, I can't see it. I still see it, in my overall vision. So if traffic's going to be coming to a quick stop, I'll still see that. But, obviously you don't want your mirror glancing to be so long that you're just distracted by what's going on up ahead of you. That would be a mistake. So I also got to get some fuel. I only got 28 miles left on this tank of fuel. So I gotta stop and fill up here before I get out on the highway. Okay, white truck up ahead. I'm gonna move over, checking my mirrors. There's nobody to the left. There's cars far out behind me. Not a problem to just do a quick move like that. Move out of the way in case that guy does decide to, get into your lane of traffic. You're out of the way. There's another car right there that I'm zooming in on right now. Same thing. I am kind of late at moving over. I should have moved over a little bit earlier when I saw him. Really, like in this exact scenario right now, 3 lanes, cars from the left, cars from the right. A middle lane would be safer just because of, people like this that are pulling out. And there's a really good chance that a lot of people are just not going to notice you, right, when they pull out because you're a small little person riding a motorcycle, small little vehicle. So, get out of the way. And actually, if we replay this clip right now, and if we stop the frame right here, and I want to just talk about this real quick. So what was happening here was that there was really nobody behind me in this exact situation. I was kind of the last person in line. And that's a bit of a tricky situation. Anytime you're in sort of the back of the pack and there's nobody else further out behind you, right? Like close up behind you. What I would suggest is to speed up to the flow of traffic. That way you're closer to the pack of cars that are up ahead of you. All the churning vehicles, they're waiting for that pack to pass. And if you're just kind of hanging back far enough behind that pack, then there's a really good chance someone's not gonna notice you. And you wanna be careful in these situations where you're the last person in your group in the pack of cars that are on the roadway. All right, easing on to the freeway here, I-75, lovely I-75. This place is a death trap, man. I'm telling you, this freeway just gets so many accidents every single day. Just between this stretch of road from like Bradenton to Northport, for example, like there's accidents every single day. Like this place can get bad. A lot of heavy speeders, a lot of people just really flying on this road. And and especially come winter time when all the snowbirds come out to this place, they really mess with traffic as well. But nonetheless, anytime you're out merging on the highway, and if I replay this clip here, I had a designated lane, and so there was, I wasn't really too concerned about who's to my left, but because of the dedicated lane. But if you don't have a dedicated lane, really watch your mirrors, see what's going on to the left and behind of you, and speed up, right? Get up to speed with the flow of traffic. Don't be slow and barely moving so that you're creating a problem on the roadway. Speed up, get to the speed of the vehicles that are around you, and look for your spot to merge. I think a really big key point in good, safe highway, freeway riding would be to be able to see far enough ahead. You know, your speed is higher on the highway than it is riding in the city. So if something goes wrong, if something goes bad, the chances of that whole situation being worse is much higher than it is when your speeds are lower and you're out riding in the city. And I think what's really important for highway riding is just being able to see up far ahead for road debris. You know, that is just it's one of those things where it can be so bad, so ugly if you're out riding on the freeway, you know, 70, 80 miles an hour, and there's a ladder on the road, or there's a battery on the road, or some other debris. So I always, first of all, never ride in lane position 2. Almost never, only for very short periods of time if I'm kind of trying to pick where it is that I'm trying to go. But I'm always, you know, lane position 1 or 2 or 3. Not 2, but 3. And I am just looking ahead. That's what I'm doing right now. I'll kind of hug this line sometimes so I can see what's going on up ahead. If that Lexus that's ahead of me, if it moves more out to the right, what am I going to do? I'm just going to move a little more to the left. I don't care if I'm almost right on this yellow line. As long as I can see what's going on up ahead of me is what's safe and is what's important. So, you know, and I also kind of apply the same concept with being on the freeway and having a higher speed than traffic around me. Again, when it's safe to do so. You know, I'm not going to be passing aggressively right now just because I want to be going faster than the flow of traffic. I still am really going faster than the flow of traffic, or I guess comparing to the majority of the cars on the road. But, you know, it's a good idea to just keep moving, right? To not be stationary. Instead of me driving, say, you know, like this, right next to this Toyota on the right, where if that Toyota, for whatever reason, decides to change lanes, well, it's going to go right into me, right? It's going to cause an accident. So be careful in those situations. Don't be stagnant and don't stay in one spot. Kind of keep moving around and just feeling out whichever lane, whichever position of the lane feels safer. All right, well, I guess this is what happens when you're out riding, talking to a microphone and a camera. You get distracted by what you actually need to be doing. I'm low on gas and I need to pull over and get some gas, so I'm going to take one of these next exits here, get some gas, and then continue on my way home. And I think I'm going to end the video here. You guys, if you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed and you do want to see videos like this one, consider subscribing. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Ride safe. Peace.